Hey, Michael, I think you're muted.
All right, we have a few attendees here. Welcome to the 2020 Majors Fair School of Engineering, Aviation, and Public Service session. We're going to give it maybe just one more minute to see if we have a few more students pop in. Welcome, glad that you're here. Have a lot of good information for you today. Welcome, Antonia. We have Bailey Stevens Johns. I want to make sure I say this correctly. Janilda, Jasmine, JC, and then Luke Doran. Welcome. All right. Well, it is 3:02, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, my name is Michael Harris. I'm a career development specialist with Tulsa Community College. I work in the office, the Tulsa Community College Career Services Department. And I also serve as one of the liaisons to the School of Engineering, Aviation, and Public Service. Just a few housekeeping items here that we want to get out of the way real quickly. All attendees will be muted during the session. Questions should be put in the Q&A section, not in the chat. Other comments can be put into the chat section. And also, the session is being broadcast live on Facebook and also recorded for future use. So if you're familiar with Zoom by now, which I'm pretty sure most of our attendees are, if you look down toward the bottom of your screen, you will see a Q&A chat icon and then also just a regular chat icon. So push on the Q&A icon and type in your question if you'd like to put in a question. And welcome, Mohammed. Glad that you're here, sir. All right, so what we have today is, again, the Majors Fair. We're going to go over programs in the School of Engineering, Aviation, Public Service. I want to make a few introductions. In addition to myself that I just mentioned, again, Michael Harris. We also have behind the scenes, we have Laura McNeese, who is our director, and Jessica Valadez, who is the assistant director of career services. We also have Cassie Steele, who's the director of student life. We have representing child development. We have Morgan Myers, Morgan Myers. And then we also have with Fire and Emergency Medical Services, Mr. Donnell Campbell. We have with Aviation, Mr. Esteban Alderando. And then also helping out with explaining engineering and human services and some of the other programs in that area are Mr. Rick Furster and Ms. Haley Rogers, who are with academic advisement, but also serve as liaisons for the School of Engineering, Aviation, and Public Service. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get right into it and start off with child development. Morgan?
Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Myers, and I am the Scholarship Specialist for Bridging the Gap, and this is...
Hello, everyone. I'm Melissa Cavanis, and I am the Scholar Coordinator for the Scholars for Excellence in Child Care Scholarship Program.
Today, we just wanted to talk to you about two amazing scholarships that are offered at Tulsa Community College. It is Bridging the Gap and Scholars for Excellence. So we have a short PowerPoint for you guys to view. I hope you can see that on your screen. And basically this PowerPoint is just the top 10 reasons to get your degree in child development at Tulsa Community College.
So the top number 10 reason is that the field of early childhood is currently growing.
And as you can see by the chart, it shows like how, child development is growing in the field from 2008 up to 2018. And number 9, you will be qualified to work at a variety of jobs in early childhood, such as being a preschool teacher, a child care center administrator, a child care professional, public school teacher assistant, a Head Start, early Head Start Tulsa Educare teacher, a family support professional, and an advocacy representative.
The TCC Child Development Academic Program is nationally accredited. So that is a huge accreditation process for the academic program itself.
Number 7 is the Child Development Program is housed at the West Campus.
Number 6 is that you can transfer your Child Development Associate credential into TCC and receive 6 credit hours towards your Certificate of Mastery, as well as an associate degree.
Number 5, your associate degree can easily transfer to several Oklahoma universities.
And then we also are going to specifically talk about the 2 scholarships here at TCC. The first one being the Scholars for Excellence in Childcare Scholarship, which is also funded by the Department of Human Services. A little bit of information about the Scholars Program is that we do scholarship students who work in childcare facilities. We help pay for 90% of tuition and 100% of book fees.
Okay, and as far as bridging the gap, we cover costs for tuition and fees and your bookstore purchases. So the student is only responsible for a $10 per credit copay. So if you're taking one class and the class being 3 credits, you would essentially just owe $30. And Bridging the Gap pays for students to obtain their CDA, a Certificate of Mastery, an Associate of Applied Science, and an Associate of Science. And we are funded from George Kaiser. Number 3, there are opportunities to work with children, including internships at Tulsa Educare. So if you are on Bridging the Gap and you needed like a part-time job or something, we have awesome opportunities with Educare, who we partner with, for you to have a part-time job.
The second, number 2 reason is that you get to pay to work with children as a part of that internship.
And the number 1 reason, you will make a difference in the lives of children. So if anybody is interested in the scholarship, please contact us for more information. We would love to talk to you and get you on a scholarship.
All right. Thank you so much, Melissa and Morgan. Thank you for joining us today. If you can hang around just in case we have a few questions at the end, we definitely appreciate you participating today. All right, next we have Fire and Emergency Medical Services with Mr. Donnell Campbell.
All right, hello, how's everyone? And welcome. My name is Donnell Campbell. I am the assistant professor and/or coordinator for the Fire and Emergency Medical Services program. And this program is a program that is a nationally accredited program that was put together by firefighters for individuals who anticipate or think they may want to have a career in the fire and emergency medical services field. This program is a 2-year program and it affords each individual upon completion a 2-year degree, applied science degree, associate's level, which is transferable to a multitude of colleges in the state of Oklahoma. This course is designed to provide you with an overview of the Fire and Emergency Medical Service program. And at the same time, also, there's a number of things that we will be looking at. This is basically an academic level program that is provided that allows one to look at the culture and the history of the Fire and Emergency Medical Service field, We look at the fire loss and the analysis, and then how departments function publicly and work one with another in the private sector, because we do work with on a multitude of our calls with the ambulance service as well as the police service and other public health entities. This program also describes the components and the developments of the fire and emergency service, and it recognizes the careers in a variety of other ones as well. Let's see here, let me turn that on. So there I am, but at any point in time in this particular program, you as a student will be encouraged to do a number of things. One is to illustrate and explain or either demonstrate your ability to not only comprehend the material that will be provided to you, but can you demonstrate this at certain levels? There are opportunities where we visit the fire station. We have a station here on campus as well that we utilize, and you will have the opportunity to go to these facilities, see firsthand how the individuals interact at the station level. You'll look at the equipment. We'll talk about it. We'll put it on experience. You'll get to feel the touch. You'll see whether firefighters actually train, and you'll talk to actual firefighters that do the job and get a real hands-on, if you will, to determine if this is a career that you're really after. The next program offering for the Fire and Emergency Medical Service will be in January. And we encourage you, if you are interested in signing up with one of the departments, if you're not in the concurrent program, we encourage you to get in at that level, at the high school level. If you have finished school and you would like to enter into the fire service and you need to get this, your EMT certification, we encourage you to sign up. And that is a 4-month program, one semester, while at the same time taking some of the other courses that we offer in the program, which would make you very marketable to the departments in the metro area. That being said, that is all that I have. Are there any questions for me in regards to the program? The EMS and paramedic program can be found here as well. That is actually a program that falls under Chief Robert Painter, but you can sign up through the FIMS program. You can contact me or Chief Painter to participate in that program. He has a multitude of offerings in that program as well. And so you want to call him or contact him early to see the availability, because those classes do fill up real quick, because when you consider the entire program, getting on with a fire department, the one requirement that we offer that is truly a requirement, you can't get in the department without it, is the EMT and or paramedic certification. And so you want to make certain that you get in that particular program. And then the other courses, they will be courses that you can take simultaneously or in some type of methodical order based on what other class loads that you may have. So, that said, are there any other questions for me in regards to the Fire and Emergency Medical Service Program here at Tulsa Community College?
Hey, Chief Campbell, unless you are limited on time, we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can get some questions toward the end. If you can stick around for a little while longer, we definitely appreciate that.
I can do that.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. All right. So next, we're going to move right on to our aviation program, Mr. Esteban Alderando.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you to all the participants for being here and learning about the programs here at TCC. My name is Esteban Alderando, and I'm the Chief Flight Instructor at Tulsa Community College. I'm also the program coordinator for the professional pilot degree option at TCC. So I deal directly with the FAA and maintaining our compliance with our flight training. And then I deal as well directly with students and their training and how they're progressing through the program. At TCC, we offer 3 distinct opportunities for programs in aviation. We have the professional pilot degree program. The professional pilot degree program is a 2-year applied science associate's degree. And it takes a student from 0 flight time all the way through a flight instructor rating. It is an ambitious program. It is a fairly expensive program, so financial planning is essential for students interested in the pro pilot degree program. However, with good planning, you just kind of just blow right through it and get your hours done. It is intended to be done in 2 years. Ideally, you would earn your licenses in that time frame and potentially flight instruct. For us, we always offer job opportunities for our graduates to work as flight instructors at TCC to continue to build flight time and get paid to do so as you instruct in preparation for your career as a commercial pilot later on. Typically, students are looking at a road map of about 3 to 4 years before they can start their career as a commercial pilot, because once you graduate, you still have to build some time on your logbook to be competitive for that job. So we like to help our students to do that by offering them job opportunities right after graduation at TCC. You would earn a private pilot license, an instrument rating, a commercial pilot license, a multi-engine commercial license, and then your flight instructor certificate through the program by following our syllabus. All the testing is done by third parties. We just do the training and meet the syllabus requirements, and then we prepare you to go take your check rides or your tests with an examiner outside of TCC. The other option, the other degree we offer is air traffic control. It is also a 2-year applied science associate's degree program. It is Gary Westcott and Terry Daniel are the 2 main faculty associated with the program. They're excellent. They're both former air traffic controllers. They have a wealth of knowledge, and they've done an excellent job with their ATC program. The program is intended to prepare you for the FAA Academy program in Oklahoma City to become an air traffic controller. We use the same simulators that the Academy has in Oklahoma City. It's about a $1.5 million piece of equipment when TCC purchased it about 6 years ago for that program. So it's a tremendous investment, but it has paid great dividends for our students going into the FAA Academy. They're some of the best, most respected students coming into the FAA Academy, well known, and we're highly recommended in the region by the FAA to come get your ATC training done. Once you finish the degree, you're put in a pool of of potential employees, and the FAA will call you up from that pool and bring you into the academy, at which point you would be paid as a FAA employee while you do your training at the academy. Once that training is completed, then you would get sent out to different stations around the country. Potentially, you would have the opportunity to choose where you'd want to go, and then you would then start your career as a controller in that particular facility. Our third program is the dispatch certificate, aircraft dispatch certificate. This is a shorter program. It's designed to be able to complete in 1 year, and it prepares you to go and take an aircraft dispatch practical exam. An aircraft dispatcher essentially works at an airline or a flight department and plans flights. They plan the fuel, the passenger loads, cargo loads, routing for an aircraft, and collects all the weather information, makes sure all the regulatory items are checked on the list, and then it prepares the package that gets sent to the pilots of an aircraft, and that's what they use to conduct a flight, and they share responsibility over that flight with the captain of the aircraft. Our programs, our workforce programs, and I will say it goes without mention that in the current state of the world today, COVID-19 has had an impact on the aviation industry in particular. However, I will say if there's any particular time to start a program like this, it would be now. And the reason is because it is forecasted that it'll take approximately 3, maybe 4 years to return back to the high demand that we were experiencing before COVID-19 in aviation, unprecedented levels of hiring and career progression. So this is the perfect time to come to CCC and start an aviation program. For example, Pro Pilot, to get you through the 2-year degree program, get your flight time built up as an instructor. And by the time you're done and you're competitive in the market, all these companies will be hungry to bring you on board, and you'll have a very, very easy job, very easy time finding a good opportunity to work for one of these companies with your aviation degree. Our degrees, our Pro Pilot degree is easily transferable to other aviation colleges like Oklahoma State and OU. If you want to pursue a bachelor's 4-year degree option. And as far as salaries for these programs, pilot salaries usually start around $50,000 when you start that career, and you'll typically end up topping at about $250,000 when you are nearing retirement. Air traffic control salaries are pretty similar, starting at about $70,000 at the start of your career and topping out about $150,000. And then dispatch salaries are generally around the $40,000 to $50,000 mark, starting and at the end of your career, closing in on $100,000. So they're all very good careers long term that will be a great return in investment if you're looking at becoming involved in the aviation career path. So I want to thank you for your time today, and this is all I have for you. But if you have any more questions, if you want to learn more about aviation programs at TCC, don't hesitate to reach out to us directly. You can just email aviationcenter@tulsacc.edu, and we'll get those questions or those inquiries directly. So I look forward to hearing from you, and glad that you're here with us. And thank you for your time.
Esteban, thank you so much. That was great information, really good information. So what we're going to do now is go into our last little portion before we get to our Q&A. And we're going to talk a little bit about the criminal justice and human services part of the house. And then we're going to make our way over to engineering and engineering technology. Rick Furster and Haley Rogers, if you want to join me, but I'm going to go ahead and take the lead on this on criminal justice, human services, and you jump in there anytime you feel like it. So real quickly, criminal justice, we do have a criminal justice degree. It's an AA degree. It's Associate of Arts, so it is meant for transfer to a 4-year institution. The criminal justice degree that we have is primarily focused on aspects of, law enforcement, corrections. Really think of any type of policing would probably be the best way of looking at it. And then even maybe law school, if that's something that someone aspires to. Just real quickly, some of the takeaways as far as the main program learning outcomes. A student will be able to explain courtroom procedure, understand all the components of the criminal justice system. They will be able to differentiate between crimes and other types of legal wrongs, apply the fundamentals of forensic science and methodology to issues of criminal justice, and then be able to compare various types of evidence. So again, like I mentioned, this is mainly meant for students who are interested in policing. It does not mean that it can't be a degree that if you change your mind later on, that you might look into another direction that's similar to criminal justice, but at the same time, it's mainly meant for policing. Real quickly on the criminal justice also, just some of the, I guess you could say, classes that stand out that a student would take. Obviously, intro to criminal justice, but criminal evidence, criminal law, criminal procedures. You have police fundamentals. You have traffic investigation, criminalistics, police equipment and weapons, and then also classes like interrogation techniques and law enforcement supervision. So as you can see, the program itself is pretty comprehensive as far as being able to take a student and have a really good comprehensive understanding of what policing is and all the different components, and put them in a position, depending on what direction they want to go, to be able to apply to the academies that represent the policing institutions that they're interested in. Anything else that you want to add, Rick or Haley, on criminal justice?
Sounds good there, Michael. You're doing good. Keep going.
All right, I will keep going. All right, so human services. So we basically have three different offerings up under human services. The best way to look at human services is that human services is the helping professions degree. Okay, so if you have a kind heart, you have a lot of empathy, this might be for you. All right, so human services, when we look at some of the the staples as far as the types of classes, someone would take principles of human services, basic counseling skills, chemical dependency and treatment, lifespan development, human service applications and case management, crisis intervention. And then also something that I like to make sure the students know about is that there is an internship that is included with this program. Why is that important? Because if you look at the statistics out there, internships can increase the probability of employment significantly. So this is one way that they make sure that students leave the program with a good understanding of the competencies that are needed in order to be a good human services professional. When you break down the actual offerings, you have an AAS or an Associate of Applied Science degree, which is on our workforce degree side of the house. That is not meant for transfer. That is meant for a student to get the bulk of the classes and competencies at TCC and to have an opportunity to get into entry-level positions out in the field. You also have an AS human services option, and that option is child and family services option. That is a transfer degree. And so when you look at this option, probably one way of sort of putting it up under an umbrella is saying that it prepares students for working in community programs, community advocacy, working with youth, elderly, families. It is definitely one that is flexible. And when you think about working in nonprofits, and public agencies, maybe being an administrator at some point, it's a good foundation for those students. Some of the classes, and obviously with there being three different offerings up under human services, you're going to see a little bit of, you're going to see a lot of overlap. But with the family and the child and family services, one thing that stands out, in addition to some of the classes that I mentioned, and also the internship, you do have human sexuality, which is one of the classes that is a part of the requirements. And then you have an option where you can select 3 credit hours from a multitude of offerings that give you a little bit of extra, I guess you could call it specialization, as far as what you might want to specialize in before you transfer on to the 4-year institution. The last offering with human services is going to be human services AS social work option. Rick, I will at some point here after I explain what we have officially here as far as the offering, have you jump in, because I know that we had talked the other day about an actual social work degree and maybe some of the changes there. But Human Services AS pre-social work option basically is meant for you to, again, to transfer as Associate of Science. And when you think about this, one way of just kind of summing it up is that it is a curriculum that is meant to get you from TCC, into another social work and human services program primarily. Obviously, there's a little bit of flexibility there, but that's the primary path. And then trying to get you to a point where you have an opportunity to have licensure as a social worker, or even keep going and be a licensed clinical social worker if you decide that's something that you want to do. The thing to think about with this is that obviously when we think about social work, there are some things that I guess are stereotypes of social workers. But think about this. There are a lot of people that have social work degrees that work in education, work in higher education. It's not sociology, but social work is a good foundation, again, for those students who want to get into helping professions and having a really good, solid understanding of how people can be helped and people can be advocated for. The licensed clinical social work licensure, I'll just mention that real quick to understand that. You have licensed professional counselors, which is our LPCs. That is definitely not this, but LCSWs, licensed clinical social workers, also have a multitude of options as far as career fields. And one of those things is counseling. So if a person wants to work in the social work field, and they also want the flexibility of being able to be licensed to counsel, LCSW is also a really good pathway or a really good end game for students if that's something they see down the line as something they would like to do. All right, Rick and Haley, do you have anything to add to that, sir? I know we had talked about social work the other day and some changes.
Yep. No, I think you did. You covered it fairly well. The social work field is quite large, and there's a lot of different areas you can go into. Things like nonprofits, working with behavioral care, and all the different industries and jobs that are out there. They're quite extensive, and there's lots of opportunities all across the board.
Right. I appreciate you mentioning that. And I want to mention one more time education, because more and more in education, social work is coming into the equation as far as being able to have a well-rounded, successful student. So whether it is your education, elementary, secondary, but even in higher education, that is something that's becoming more than the norm. So something to think about there. All right, so Rick, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you real quick to give us an overview of our engineering and engineering technology programs, and I'll just jump in anytime I'm needed.
Okay. Oh, Haley, over to you.
Okay, I will start. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Rogers. I am a senior academic advisor working in EAPS, so Engineering, Aviation, and Public Service School. We will go ahead and get started just to dive in and talk a little bit about engineering and engineering technology. So students who are interested in going into engineering may not know kind of what direction they want to go. We have several opportunities and several options at TCC. So you can see here we have computer engineering, electrical engineering, we're missing one, mechanical engineering. We have electrical on there twice. Computer, electrical, and mechanical programs at TCC. These are Associates of Science programs. We have some Associates of Applied Science, so more of those workforce degrees. And this are going to be your engineering technology, manufacturing tech, drafting and design, manufacturing production tech certificate, and then we have the quality technology certificate. So Rick, do you want to go ahead and give some more information about those?
Sure. Okay. Hi, I'm Rick Furster. I'm a academic advisor also. The big thing about your engineering programs here, number one, they are in high demand everywhere. All right. You can't go wrong being an engineer. The AS, the Associate of Science degrees, they're designed to get you into a four-year university to get your bachelor's in engineering. There's 4 good ones there. We can lead you into just about any engineering program in the state. And again, we have good relationships with all the universities. Generally speaking, you're going to go right into the third year of that university's program. Okay, the AAS, that's an Associate of Applied Science degree. They're designed generally to be 2 years, and then you go to work in that career field. All right, and again, they have very high success rates and very good results. And then the other certificates, just be aware that's designed more for somebody who's already working in that career field and they're looking to get a promotion or a pay raise or something, and they just need a little bit more training in that area. But they're still good, so take a look at that. The last one there, that geographic information systems, that's all that GWIS stuff, you know, being able to look at yourself. Anybody who's interested in becoming into the law enforcement field, a lot of times that's a good little certificate to get, to be able to use things that's like you see in all the TV shows. That's that high-tech stuff, being able to locate somebody in the middle of a city just off a cell phone ping. All right. Let's see what else on there. Other than that, yeah, they're good programs. Come talk to us. We'll help get you in there. The other thing is all these programs are designed, you know, 2 or 4 years. But again, if you're working, you need to work, you got a family. We understand that. Just understand it may take a little bit longer to get through it, but it's still very doable, and we'll work with you on that to get you through.
One thing I wanted to add right quick, back on that engineering stuff. Sorry, Laura, for making you switch the screen, or Michael, whoever did it. But with engineering, really quickly, a lot of students that want to go into engineering, like I said, don't really know which direction that they want to go. Maybe they have to take a lot of math courses, and they're really intimidated by the math courses that they have to take. A really big key difference between the engineering tech and like the AAS programs and the AS programs is that those applied science programs are going to be very hands-on. So you're going to be in that program doing a lot of hands-on work, whereas the Associates of Science programs that are created to transfer is going to be more of the theory of engineering. And then you'll be doing the engineering theory stuff more so at the university you transfer to. That's all.
No, that's great information, Haley. I appreciate both of you guys. If you guys have any more, again, we have questions. We'll try to get to that real quick. If you have any more questions about human services and the engineering side of the house, please make sure that you put those questions in there. Real quickly, TCC Career Services, what a wonderful group right there. Look at that picture right there. Beautiful skyline in the background. So TCC Career Services, we are the department that works with you on everything from career assessments, major and career planning, job search assistance, resume development, mock interviews, and a professional clothing closet. So if you do not have professional clothing at this time and you need that, definitely contact us. We'd love to help you out. Our contact information is right there, careerservices@tulsacc.edu, also 918-595-7609. And please, please, please join us and like us at TCC Career Services on our social media platforms. All right, so do we have any questions from our attendees? And it looks like we do not. Did any of them sneak into the chat? No? Okay. All right, so we don't have any questions, so that means that I think we did a great job. We're just going to pat ourselves on the back, and we're glad that you all attended. Thank you so much. Please contact us and any of our program representatives if you have any further questions. Any of our faculty and advisors, do you have anything you want to add before we leave? Oh, well, it looks like we do have one question. Okay, real quick. What internship opportunities are you aware of for engineering? I'll go ahead and take that real quick. I will say this, and I'm not necessarily qualified to speak on what's going to be happening in the future, but what I will say that right now we don't necessarily have a formal program for internships, and specifically engineering internships. I know that there are people working very hard to make that happen. Obviously, COVID has kind of put a little bit of a stunt in our growth in that, with that component. But what I will tell you is, if you are, especially if you're a brand new student, please ask that question again next semester. But I will tell you this, if you are interested in internships, we can do it a la carte if we need to. If that means that myself or one of the other career advisors needs to buckle down with you and help you search out those opportunities, we are more than we'll be more than happy to do that for you. So that is my general answer to that question. And as I was saying, does anybody, as far as our actual panelists, does anybody have any last thing that they would like to add before we wrap up? Okay, looks like we do not. So thank you to all our panelists. Thank you so much for giving that great information. Thank you to Cassie Steele for everything she's done, and we appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much.